And now it's time for Cathy's Wealth of Health with Master Herbalist Cathy McNease. All the way from Ojai, California. Everybody, let's welcome Cathy. Good morning out there in California, Cathy. How are you?
Good morning. It's a gorgeous day today, bright, sunny day. Well, cold in the mornings, but beautiful and bright.
Yes, it's bright here and sunny and cold, and then we're going to get a big storm tomorrow, so I'll have to, I got to go to work, but still, it's our first big storm of the year if it proves to be correct. So today we're going to follow up on brain health and its connection to gut health and diabetes. I know your column on brain health was in our new weekly edition at LGBT Senior, and this is an audio supplement to that. So let's just dive right into it.
Good. Well, I have been aware of the connection between the digestive flora, the gut health, the probiotics, which are popular, like acidophilus, which people talk about for helping a variety of immune functions and digestive functions. But I was recently made aware of the important connection between mental health and the gut health. I had a psychiatrist share with me a study about mice, and there was one group that were nervous mice, and the other group were calm mice. They took some of this gut flora from the nervous mice and put it in the calm ones, and the calm ones were more nervous, and vice versa. When they put the calm flora into the nervous mice were calmer. And they are really exploring this connection between what's going on in the gut with how our neurotransmitters are being formed and carried up to the brain. So it's a fascinating study to see exactly how can we keep the brain in as good of shape as possible. So one of the ways is by making sure your intestinal flora is healthy, harmonious. And how do you know that? If your digestive system is working in tip-top shape, you're having regular bowel movements, you don't have symptoms, and there's a lot of things that we can do that we can supplement the flora if there are symptoms. And if you go to your local natural food store, they can help you with, some of the supplements if that's what you need. Mm-hmm. Another important thing that a growing body of evidence that links obesity, vascular disease, inflammation with cognitive decline and dementia. So we've known for a long time about the inflammation problems throughout the body causing like arthritis and gastritis. But the current research is really pointing to that inflammation is being created in the brain in part by the diet people are eating. Mm-hmm. So there's a book that I recommended in the column that I hope some of you have picked up called Grain Brain by a neurologist. And his father is in his 90s with Alzheimer's and doesn't really know anyone. And he was also a neurologist, and that was part of what prompted his inquiry into what effect the high carbohydrate diet has had on the brains. And one of the things that he has been exploring is looking at how a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet impacts the brain. And the brain is 25% cholesterol, and it's about 75% fat. So it's the fattest organ in our body. So back, when we started moving toward weight loss by high carbohydrate, low fat diets, that's a point at which there was an increase in the use of carbohydrates, and we became really sort of fixated on carbohydrates, and fats became the enemies. So one of the suggestions that he makes for our brain health is to substitute some of those carbohydrates and breads and sugar, substitute those for some healthy fats, some nuts and seeds, for instance, would be a great snack that will provide you with those healthy fats that are going to nourish the brain.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that happens when one shifts away from that high carbohydrate diet is that the blood sugar is maintained. And when we can maintain a level blood sugar that both helps the brain health as well as you are not moving towards diabetes. Diabetics have twice the incidence of mental decline as those that have normal blood sugar.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the ways that we should be eating?
Well, as I very often recommend, the colorful fruits and vegetables, and especially vegetables. Since fruits are going to be high in sugar, you want to choose your fruits so that you're not having too much fruits that are high in sugar. If you look at a list of glycemic index of fruits, you can see that the berries would be an excellent choice because they are low in sugar. And the berries also contain some nutrients called flavonoids that are very beneficial for brain health. And then healthy proteins. Fish, of all of the animal proteins, fish is the one that will be touted as the best brain food. So having fish 3 or 4 times a week is an excellent choice for the brain. And then having fruits and vegetables, small amount of not refined grains, and according to Grain Brain, avoiding the grains that contain gluten. So the main one is wheat. So that would be another thing that he would suggest important for brain health. And then using oils like coconut oil and olive oil, those are really easy ones to incorporate into our diet. Dr. Perlmutter's diet suggestions for the brain are very similar to the Mediterranean diet, which you're probably familiar with. Mm-hmm. And the Mediterranean diet also has a lot of these really health-giving fats and healthy proteins, as well as the fruit and vegetable assortment. So that would be another direction people could go if they're looking for like a cookbook for better health. Look for something that emphasizes the Mediterranean diet, and that'll give you these healthy fats and good proteins.
Okay. Now, do you have is there anything else you want to add?
Well, maybe I should share my personal experience, which was this brain health article that you just posted. I had started months ago when we first were did this as a podcast about the brain, and I had really tremendous difficulty completing it, and I kept feeling like my brain power was really losing its vigor rapidly. And I started doing some of the things that I've mentioned in that article to help get my brain back on track, and shifted my diet a lot more. Coconut milk and coconut oil was one of the additions. And I am very pleased with the completion of the article. So I'm sort of like proof that this is information that can be very helpful. We don't have to have mental decline take over our lives. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole lot we can do. So Happy New Year.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to go back and visit that because the article, and I often will do things, try things that you talk about, because my brain, I don't think there's anything wrong with my brain, but sometimes I feel confused, and I'm putting this novel aside because I can't figure it out, and sometimes I think that I'm not, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I just feel like I'm not able to focus the way I need to. So I definitely have to take a peek at these things, because I'm only I'm 55. I don't think that there's anything significant going on with my brain. But if there's a way that I can sharpen it, that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And it's been another good Health Listen with Cathy McNease. These, by the way, these are all now on the page Health Listens at lgbtsr.org. So I think there might be 10 of them with this. I'm not sure, but they're all really good things to listen to, very helpful, and they're all in one place now. So for anybody that wants to listen to them, they're there, and I'm really happy to have your article as part of our new weekly relaunch with that website. And you're my sister, so it's good to talk to you
Yes.
about for that reason too.
And you're my brother. I'm happy that we share an interest in health. In a lot of families, that's not the case. Where you don't have anyone to share with, but we share that interest. So
we do.
Bravo for us.
Yes, and Happy New Year back to you. I think it's going to be 2013 was a really good year for me, and I think 2014 is going to be too.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll talk to you in a couple weeks with another Health Listen.
Good.
Bye.
Bye, Mark.